Manchu, a Persian cat from Emmett, Kansas, hates litter boxes, to the point where his owner couldn't take it anymore. She contacted every rescue center within 100 miles, but none would take Fu Manchu. Finally, she found a rescue in Kenosha, Wisconsin that would be able to help, and which wouldn't euthanize the cat if he couldn't be adopted out. Relocating a stressed-out, litterbox-hating cat the 710 miles from Emmett to Kenosha takes some effort, and the help of volunteers who want to keep animals from being euthanized. Transporter Sarah Chasnoff of St. Louis drove Fu Manchu from Columbia to St. Louis, one of 7 legs of the cat's journey north.
And they, like a purebred rescue group, I think in Wisconsin, said they would be happy to work with him and get him to where he can be adoptable. So we're taking him to that shelter.
While Fu Manchu only made a brief stop in Columbia to change drivers, the Central Missouri Humane Society organizes similar trips weekly. Chasnoff and the Humane Society are both part of a nationwide network of volunteers willing to drive thousands of miles to keep animals alive. Animals are transported from the Humane Society to rescue centers that have the resources and space to work with animals that have medical or behavioral issues. Foster and Rescue Coordinator Jennifer Romsberg said that the Humane Society takes in more than 4,000 animals a year, but has limited space at their facility.
If we're overloaded, that's where rescues can come in and help alleviate our space.
Romsberg said out of 936 animals that left the Humane Society alive last year, approximately 700 of those were transported to rescue centers around the country. This number was a result of volunteer transporters like Tim Kreidel. Last year, Kreidel transported animals on about 12 trips and was recognized as Transporter of the Year by the Humane Society. Kreidel is a freelance writer, and these transports allow him to get out of the house. But his real motivation for going on these trips is his love for animals.
Everyone's memorable, but the most memorable ones are when you got, a dozen or more cats and dogs in the back. It gets about as noisy and smelly as you would think, but it's all for a good cause.
Most transports start their journey from a local humane society and go to cities about 2 hours away for the next leg of their trip. Fu Manchu started in Emmett, Kansas, and quickly became part of this network. From there, animals continue their trip to rescue centers around the country. Volunteer-driven transports gave Fu Manchu a second chance and spared the lives of many animals at the Humane Society.
We're saving lives, so if I take 6 cats or dogs out of the shelter, it's not only 6 cats or dogs that are getting a shot at life someplace else, but that opens up 6 spaces at the shelter for 6 more to come in rather than being put down.
Other mid-Missouri shelters have also seen the benefits of these transports. The Boonville Animal Shelter euthanized almost 70 dogs 2 years ago. Animal Control Officer Pam Paxton said last year the shelter only had to put down 4 dogs due to the help of volunteer transporters.
Well, if the only thing stopping that animal from getting a great home is a few miles or from one state to another, it means the world.
With animal shelter volunteers going the extra miles, pets are given another chance to find a new home. As for Fu Manchu, he's made it safely to Wisconsin and is being treated for his litter box aversion. With producers Maggie Angst and Charmaine Ung, Maria Davison, KOMU 8 News, Boonville.